I'm back, fuckers.
I wasn't going to start it. I was waiting for
How much
somebody
did you
else
guys miss me, Trevor? I was my chair.
Pretty good.
So you kept it warm.
to. Did you listen to last week's?
No. I
didn't?
I watched the clip. It's a fucking insane move to go to Applebee's.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely
You can't,
insane move.
Trevor, you can't sit there and ask what we mean because you know what we mean.
You got
Just like everybody else.
ripped apart on the internet too.
Yeah.
Some people respected
Yeah,
it.
those were your
Some people
friends.
were.
Those were your
Those
friends.
probably your
No,
buddies.
I didn't know
Yeah.
a single one.
I
Yeah.
also saw a couple people say that you just go to Broke Boy Chili's, which is Applebee's.
Chili's is
They're trying to say
not.
it's Broke
Chili's
Boy
is-
Chili's.
no.
That
But-
kind of fits.
I mean, they're kind of the same thing.
I'm gonna be honest.
guess.
I'm not going to either of those places because you know what's at every single golf course for the most part?
Food?
A bar and restaurant.
Yes.
I'm probably not like nowadays. I'm going less and less to the clubhouse bar and restaurant because after 4 hours, I gotta
You
get
gotta
home.
leave that
going
place.
I gotta get home.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you have to go and eat and drink somewhere,
Correct, yeah.
you're not going to fucking Applebee's.
No.
I am.
and the
I need
reason-
to leave the course. Like I just don't want to be there more than like 4.5 hours.
Trevor's suffering from, he doesn't have to go home, but he doesn't want to stay there.
correct.
Type thing.
I want to go somewhere
Yeah.
else to spend my time.
Yeah. I get it.
It's like,
That-
I was at a golf course for 6 hours, where it's like, okay, I was at golf course for
What?
4
So
hours
your-
and Applebee's for an hour.
Your need to leave the course, does it stem from playing bad? Like you just want to leave?
No, I think I just need a different environment.
And it's not even, it doesn't even come from like leaving the course or staying at the course. It's not even the topic of discussion. It's
Going to
the fact that you
Applebee's.
choose Applebee's of all places.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and put Clubhouse beers as a top 5 beer of all time.
Yeah, actually, I'd say it's probably
Top
nestled
5?
somewhere in between lake beers and free beers, somewhere in there.
Okay, so
I would
put it like
Yeah.
right at my 5. Number 5. My number 5 beer of all time is a Clubhouse beer, specifically post round.
What's the other 4?
Okay, so we'll go Clubhouse beer, number 5. Number 4, bonfire beer.
Mhm.
Number 3, airport beer.
Ooh, good one.
Number
Going
2,
to or coming back?
going to.
Got to be going to.
Yeah, coming back.
Probably
Those
like top
beers
20.
don't hit the same because it's a lot of depression that you're leaving
Yeah.
wherever you just came
usually
from,
not,
and
usually not
you're-
drinking on the way back.
Yeah, you're
Just 'cause-
hungover. Number 2 beer is a sporting event beer, and number 1 for me, specifically on a frozen lake, a fish house beer.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So recap just real quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, Clubhouse beer. 4, I don't remember what I said. 3,
Airport beer.
3 was airport beer. 2 was sporting event beer. Number 1 was fish house beer.
4 was
Bonfire beer.
beer.
Bonfire beer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brian, what are you going?
Yeah.
with?
That
Well,
was
yeah, I'm trying to formulate
directly
it.
off the top of the dome. Zero prep time.
Yeah,
And
Can
I
I go
stand by
pretty
that
solid
list.
list. Actually,
I'll go number
yeah.
1
Yeah.
through 5. It's hard to think 5 to 1.
Yeah, that's.
I'll
fair.
go, okay. Number 1, I would say airport beer going to.
Yep.
Number 2, I would say, number 2, probably a lake beer. Not a bonfire beer, but a lake beer. Like,
on the
Yeah.
boat.
like midday, and it may just be in the yard or on the dock or wherever. Number 3, I mean, for number 3 for me has got to be a Friday night beer,
Wow,
and it
Russ.
doesn't matter where it's at.
Yeah, it's a little cheating.
Any-
Ryan, but
yeah.
I'll let it
The
slide.
other-
Why is
Because-
that?
Any weekend beer.
Because any one of your other 4 could be a Friday night beer. It could have been Friday at the lake. It could have
Yeah,
been
but
Friday at the
yeah.
airport.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Well,
though.
yes, Ryan, but a
Friday night
beer-
at home.
Okay, that's fair. That
That
counts.
makes it a
Okay,
little
that
more, that's
counts.
good.
Actually, we'll put that one down at number 4. Number 3, I think, will be the clubhouse beer.
Okay.
Number 4 being the Friday night at home beer. And number 5 has got to be a Bev Cart beer. And I
Yeah.
think Bev Cart and Clubhouse, they're 2 completely different picks.
Absolutely,
in
they
my
are.
mind.
I mean,
And-
yeah, the reason Bev Cart's completely off the list for me is because there's no good way to get a beer from the Bev Cart. It's either in a shitty cup or in a can that's warm by the next hole,
Yep.
unless you drink it immediately. That's why we've talked about this.
I think that's
100
kind of the
times.
fun part.
I don't like it. I would.
You know, like slam.
No, I'm a mix-
slamming barley pops.
No, not on the course. I'm a hard alcohol guy on the course.
That's true.
Every time.
I'm getting to be more and more, but
Or seltzer, which is very rare. 99% of the time, it depends if it's the morning and I'm drinking it's a screwdriver or middle of the day a vodka lemonade or a whiskey 7 if they don't have either of those 2 fruit juices.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, beer is the topic at hand right now.
Correct. That's why
I'm
I'm
with
just
you, though.
telling
I'm
you
with you.
why I left Bev Cart off my top 5.
Yeah.
It maybe cracks the top 10, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
go-
also if they're handing out pounders at the Bev cart, that's just a even more of a recipe.
That's a recipe
for disaster.
for warm soup.
Yeah, exactly. For a bottle of Warmpus beer.
Yeah. No shower beers for either of you.
No, we're not 12, Trevor.
Yeah, we're not.
I've had maybe 2 shower beers in my whole life. It's a terrible experience. I don't care what anyone says.
Really?
I used to drink them in college, but when the water hits your body and it mists off of you.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
into
gets
your
into
fucking
the
beer.
Yeah, that it gets in the beer and then it gets on the rim too. So when you go and take a drink, you're getting a little a little
Bath
vial
water? Yeah.
of shower water.
And not to mention, if any water has touched your hair or your face at that point, you take a drink of the beer, you're gonna get your dirty face water.
Yeah.
It's a very
In your
difficult thing to drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have like a shelf up there to like put your soap, but only put the beer can up there.
Yeah. Or we talked about this on YBR. They make like shower koozies so you can like set your beer in it in the shower. But still, I just complained about beers getting warm on a golf cart. You put them in a piping hot shower, you better slam the fucking thing.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. I will replace my Friday night at home beer with
Oh my god.
fuck, that was already my. So airport beers going on to a golf trip and then Airbnb beers on a golf trip are elite.
Airbnb beers in general are pretty just.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're great. I mean, even a hotel beer is awesome.
Dude, the hotel beer is kind of, it's
'Cause,
kinda
like-
slept
Okay,
on.
so I think there's a huge difference between a hotel beer in your room and a hotel beer at the hotel bar.
Oh, for sure.
I think this might be a hot take. The hotel beers in your room are way better than the hotel bar.
No, that's not
It's not
that's
a
not
hot
a hot take. That's not a hot take.
Okay.
No, it's not hot take because number one, they're way cheaper. The hotel
Yeah.
bars just got price gouging.
I think the hotel bar is kind of sad, to be honest.
It can be at times. Yeah, it like if you're on business by yourself. So I've had to travel by myself and stay in a hotel room by myself before. It's going to the hotel bar as a loner is a little bit sad. People are like, is this guy recently divorced or is he just on business by himself? The question always stands. But
The saddest option is drinking at a hotel bar where you're not staying at the hotel. Like you just your local hangout in town is the hotel down the road. I got to swing by the Holiday Inn for happy hour.
Okay. So, I mean, you can interpret that different ways because, like, Rosewild downtown is actually the hotel bar for the Jasper.
Right.
So, or like Blarney is the hotel bar for Hotel Donaldson. And I would go to both of those without ever staying there.
Yeah, or Trevor's Applebee's is actually the hotel parking lot bar for the Comfort Suites that's right next to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah, I'm a hotel room beer type of guy because when you can double stack the pillows and throw on whatever you want on TV and just sit there with your feet kicked up after a long day of travel, nothing hits better.
The best is when you got like a group of 6 people or so and everybody squads up in one hotel room. You got a guy laying crossways on the bed, one dude sitting on this shitty office chair, one dude on the floor leaned up against the wall, and everyone's just getting shit canned.
Everyone's naked.
Everyone's naked, and we all just drink a shower beer after our trip to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
Speaking of Applebee's, they have this deal going on. It's actually the deal's today, and I was telling Trevor. Trevor already knew about it, but I was
Yeah,
telling
of
him
course.
earlier.
Of course he did. Yeah.
My roommate told me about this deal.
So it's called a date night deal, and
I don't have any dates.
you buy it if you I think today is there's limited supplies. You can only buy like it's a gift card, whatever. So for $200, you get this 52-week gift card, and once a week you can go to Applebee's. You can place an order and get $30 off of that order once a week. So if you go twice, your order is just going to cost the same because you
On the
already took
second
advantage of it. So once a week, you can get $30 off an Applebee's order for 52 weeks, and it's only $200. So it's like a $1,500 value for $200.
It's it's kind of crazy. It's like almost.
It's a wild deal.
If you think about it, it's like a subscription service for food. I'm putting air quotes above that, but
it's like $200 yearly subscription. Once a week, and go in and get $30 worth of food for. You can say it'll be for free after like your 7th time going.
I'm actually kind of in on this. If it would apply to like DoorDash.
I believe it applies to mobile orders. So you could mobile order.
Not DoorDash, but like off the app you can.
Correct, yes.
Is there a minimum purchase amount? Like, do I have to order at least $60 worth of food?
Nope.
Or can I go in and order $30 worth of food and just get it for free?
And if you order $45 worth of food and you have the date night pass, you just use your credit card or whatever for the other $15 and then you're good.
It's actually a sick deal because
insane.
Because I mean, you could just place, I mean, you could get a $30 or what's the
2 for 22,
2 for
26, 28.
There's 2 meals right there a week that you're getting for free essentially.
Well,
we'll call it free.
Their food is just microwave food anyway, and my kids fucking devour chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
So I could just be getting popcorn chicken from Applebee's for free every week.
They may have ran this deal like 20 years ago. Trevor's parents took advantage of it, and that's where he got like his Applebee's.
Maybe. I don't know.
So how old are you, Trevor?
23.
23 years and 9 months ago, Trevor's parents used the date night pass.
This is the last time the Applebee's came with the date night deal.
Yeah. I got the website right here. It says exactly that.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
it is a great deal.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, okay.
Even if you go 10 times, 3 of those times are completely free because the $200 is that's now paid off.
Yep.
It's house money.
You're good.
Damn.
They sold out already.
Fuck.
So
What time is it?
It's 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
The site opened
Trevor,
up
did
at
you
9
do it?
a.m.
No.
You should have set up one of those internet bots that buy something the second it's available.
I need to get one of those because I tried buying shoes online at Ryan's house. I was in there within 1 minute and I couldn't even get the shoes that I wanted.
Yeah, you got to do a bot for that type of shit.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how to do
also
that.
tell you this, Trevor. Someone's probably eBaying the date night pass right now
for $500 or something.
Yeah.
I'll go buy it.
Still
maybe get
It's
on
a great
eBay.
deal. It's a great deal.
save
insane.
$1,000.
So Tyler, how was the trip?
You piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.
The trip was fantastic. Also, welcome back to episode 195. I have
73.
no idea. Nice. Trip was awesome. First trip I've ever been on in my whole life where I wasn't ready to come home at the end. Had a sick kid.
Why is that?
I just loved it. It was there was no.
Slow pace.
It was very slow paced.
Nice.
There was an itinerary set up, but the itinerary was all volunteer. And then then some of the stuff got canceled after the first like scheduled day. So the day we were going to go on the pod, right? They had a trip to Sedona and the Grand Canyon planned, right?
Sedona in California.
No, Northern Arizona.
Okay.
It sounds like it could be. in California.
Sonoma is in California.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Which was just way too far. My kid was sick. And so we didn't go on that. And we just chilled at home and we went to an aquarium that day. Like all those things, like all the stuff that was on the schedule, you didn't have to do it if you didn't want to. You could build it yourself. And I had so many people there that would watch my kids and wanted to. And like Becca could do her own thing. I could go do my own thing. It felt like we just lived in Arizona for a week and didn't have jobs.
Fuck yeah.
And
That's
it was
sick.
it was really tight. I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. Went on a shitload of hikes that I'm sure Miles would love. I climbed. I don't use this term loosely. I fucking mean this. I climbed a mountain. I was hands and feet on a fucking cliff wall
Jesus.
for like a half a mile. It was terrifying.
What was
We
the
had-
elevation on it?
90. I'll ask my dad to send me the stats.
90-degree elevation.
So
Because that elevation matters.
Do you see Alex Honnold?
the
while you're
grade. You're
there?
talking the grade.
Grade.
It would have been at least 70.
Wow.
Did
So
you
we're
think you're
talking
going to
free-
fall?
Did I fall?
Did you think you were going to?
A couple times, yeah. Coming down was so sketchy. And we get to the top, right? It was called Siphon Draw was the name of the hike.
Looking it up right now.
It's 2.5 miles up from the correct parking lot. We went to the wrong fucking parking lot. So it was 4.5 miles up. But the first 2 miles were completely flat. Then you get to the base of the mountain. You got a mile of low grade up, and then the trail ends. And then it's a choose your own adventure, straight up fucking rock face. And you get to the top, and I was sitting out at the edge, dog tired. And my dad's like, get away from the edge. A kid died right there. And I was like,
What?
You're joking. Like, haha, funny dad. I'm not, he's scared of heights. So, and then I turn around and I like walk around a boulder, and there's the memorial.
What?
A guy actually died last year exactly where I was sitting on the edge. So that was scary. And a plane crashed up there a couple years before that. So not only did I hike up a mountain, I encountered ghosts.
A plane hit the mountain.
It crashed up in the top of the mountain, and there's a memorial up there too. It was something else. That was the coolest part of my trip. That siphon draw trail. I'll get some stats for you.
I'm looking at photos of it right now, Tyler, and you know that big thing in Wyoming? What do they call it? Like Devil's whatever. It's just like out of nowhere, there's a big straight up cliff face and then a flat plateau on the top. That's kind of what this looks like a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So
how do you find the fucking stats for hikes? I know these hikers all have stats and shit on them.
yeah.
It's the elevation gain. So the total length from the correct parking lot is 5.5 miles. So we ended up probably doing like 9.5.
Jesus.
With the extra, but that was all flat though. Like the extra was all flat from the wrong parking lot. The elevation gain from ground to the peak was 2,627 feet.
Were you sucking hind too at the top?
No,
Lack of oxygen.
a little, but like it was the hardest part was going down. Like
It's a dry heat too.
yeah, it wasn't hot though. It was like 65 and 70 the whole week. It was
Well, it's more so a dry
fucking
temp.
awesome.
Every temp is dry, so it's like it's like you gotta have some sort of water with you at that point.
Tyler, I've got some more stats over here. Apparently, this is from a hiking website. It says hiking level difficulty severe, 5 out of 5 stars. You said the first 2 miles of this trail were pretty much flat, while the average gradient is still 27 degrees on the entire hike.
I'm not kidding you guys when I say I climbed a goddamn mountain.
You did.
And then when the path disappeared, like there's still worn down paths that you can follow that other people have taken. And my sister and I kind of fell behind my dad and his girlfriend. And I was so focused on not falling off the mountain. I was just climbing and looking where my hands were going to go next. I looked up, they were nowhere to be found. And me and my sister climbed up the wrong part of the mountain. Oh. And then we had to like shimmy our way sideways, like leaning with our arm up on the cliff, walking sideways to get back to where we were supposed to be. It was the closest I've been to death, I think, in a really long time.
Do you have a bag of chalk with you?
No, I didn't have shit.
Well, that's where you screwed
Didn't have
up.
the harness or whatever.
No, there was people clipping in. And here don't have hiking shoes. I'm in my a fucking Detroit Lakes baseball t-shirt, just trying not to die on this mountain. We get to the top. It was fantastic. It was, they call the top flat iron because it's just a long flat, like almost like Pride Rock and Lion King. And then there's these spires. I'm sure they have a real name, but these tall, skinny columns of rock that were higher up than Flatiron. I'm like, I'm not going to risk my fucking life and climb this high to not get to the highest point.
Yeah.
So I free solo climbed those spires, and I get to the top of one, and there's one 4 feet away that you can't climb it because it's a perfect cylinder. And
Did you jump?
Yeah, I jumped. It was 2 feet higher than the one I was on. I'm like, fuck, I'm so close.
Yeah.
There's
False
no way
summit
to
is what they
climb
call
it.
that.
Yeah, so close to it. So I just leapt from one spire to the other and then sat there for like 4 minutes, hopped back to the other one, promised I wasn't going to tell Becca about any of that. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so we're good. And then proceeded to climb down and almost died like 6 times. There was one part where I was going down the mountain. I lost my footing. And you know, like when you're on a hill and you start to slip and you just start running down the hill. I just started running down the mountain and prayed that my foot wouldn't catch because my momentum was going forward. And this part wasn't as like steep, but it was still pretty fucking steep. I just started running and finally I got to a spot where I could jump and land. I landed, both my knees crack. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die. Luckily they just cracked. There wasn't like an injury, but made it to the bottom and I was good to go.
You ever seen Lone Survivor, Tyler?
Yep.
Falling down the hill scene in Lone Survivor. That's what I'm picturing.
I think
right
that
now.
was in Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights. And when you're climbing something like that, you have the adrenaline running through you to where like you're ultra focused. You're not thinking about anything else besides where your next step or where, you know, the next crack that your hand is going to grab. So I understand. I would like to tell myself I'd probably just back out of doing that. But in the moment, it's like, well, shit. I mean, I can't let these other people do it and not do it myself, you know?
Yeah.
So here's the issue with the Ziegler family. We drove by this mountain like 4 times doing other activities and shit. And Dad realized like this is a hike that had been recommended to him by a buddy. We did 0 research except for
Naturally, yeah.
Googling where to go. We Googled it. We knew the distance. We knew the elevation change. We thought it'd be gradual. It wasn't. It was flat until it was straight up. And we get to the top and it was still worth it. But we just didn't plan at all. Like we showed up. I read the trailhead sign and it recommended to have 6 to 8 hours. We were planning like a 2-hour hike. It said to bring a gallon of water each. We brought 2 12-ounce bottles of water.
I mean, that's a classic tourist move.
Yep.
You know, you're not doing research on a trail or a certain hike unless you're not a tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a local, like, oh God, I really want to do a fucking Devil's Ridge or whatever it's called. Like, you're gonna do research. You're gonna get all your gear bag going, whatever. As a tourist, you're just walking up, being like, okay, well, this one looks good.
Yep.
Start walking.
Yep. We did that. But it made me feel good though. We got to the top and we went pretty early in the morning. So on the way down, there was lots of people finally waking up and coming up the mountain.
Did you do the classic? Oh, it's worth it. On the way back down, like
God, you're almost there.
Yeah.
There was one. So there was like this really cool flat washout part of the mountain where it was just all pure one piece of stone. So like most of the mountain is like cracks and shit where it looks like separate stones. This was a flat part where it was all smooth and super slippery where you see the water coming through. And that's kind of like the halfway mark to where it goes from hard to really hard. And there was this dad and his daughter sitting there, and the daughter looks at her dad. She's like, Dad, is that the top right there? And he goes, yeah, honey, it is. And I made eye contact with her. I was like, no, it's not.
Maybe he wanted her. Yeah, maybe he wanted
They had at least 2 hours of up before they were closing. He's like, yep, that's the top. He's fucking not.
He don't want to go up
maybe he just wanted her
anymore.
to believe it was the top so they
Yeah.
could be done. Or,
Yeah. But the thing that made me feel good was on the way down, and there was lots of people that asked if we made it to the top. And when we told them yes, they were very surprised. So I don't know if that was, they were surprised because lots of people don't make it to the top, or we looked like fucking asshats and they didn't believe that people like us could make it to the top. Either way, I took it as a compliment. So I felt good about that. But yeah, that was the most dangerous part of my trip. And honestly, the coolest.
Yeah.
fuck yeah. How exhilarating.
It was.
Hindsight,
Gotta get
are
a
you
chalk
like,
bag next time.
yeah. Hindsight, are you like, that was dumb, I probably shouldn't have done that? Or are you still like, great idea, I'd do it again in a heartbeat?
I would do it again. I wouldn't do the jump from spire to spire.
Yeah, probably not.
That
Let's
was
get that chalk
That was a
bag on
dump.
you.
I mean, that one though, like the spires are only like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, you just
before
fall
flat ground. So I would have just fallen down 12 feet instead of falling
Yeah.
off the mountain.
Probably just on your spine, straight rock. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Fine. Just walk
Yep.
it off.
Yeah.
But it's not
compressed
like I was
vertebrae.
jumping from spire to spire where it was 3,000 feet drop
Death or
below
life.
me.
Yeah.
It was
is true.
potentially a sprained ankle if I fall off, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about, let's get to the best part. I mean, that's great. But let's get to the best part.
The best part, Wednesday 9-some, Continental back home.
You get a hat.
No, I already got one.
This is Conti on it.
It says Conti.
fucking
We have
go.
the same hat.
Okay.
Yours is gray, mine's blue.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we bought it at the exact same time.
Fuck. Forgot.
Look at us.
Fucking goals.
So we get to Conti, right? First off, I counted wrong. So I created this giant debacle all on my own. The whole 9 people wanting to golf, there was only 8. I could have just done 2 tee times of 4
Jesus.
people.
Damn. It's like simulator league though.
And so
We've been
I
having issues with the simulator.
one issue, we'll get to it. So the morning of the tee time, I call Continental and be like, hey, is there any chance that we could switch this to 2 tee times of 4? And they're like, no, random's already filled your spots. And so Becca came with. So
She wasn't planning on
No.
going? Okay.
I think that's where I counted wrong. I just assumed she would.
Okay.
So Becca came with. So we had our 3 groups of 3. We did 3-man scrambles, all versus each other. Winners got a drink bought for them, but losers had to jump in the pool at the Airbnb, which was ice fucking cold.
Clothes on.
No clothes on.
Okay.
But it would get down to like 20 at night. So the pool was very cold.
Just an ice bath.
Yeah.
That's
Genuinely, my dad ran a half marathon on Monday when we got there. And they went ice bath.
Kind of why
in the
you went
pool.
down there because of the hat.
No, it just happened to be there. And he's training for a full. So he did that. It's a whole thing. He asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, absolutely not.
No, but I'll fucking.
I'll climb a mountain to my death, but I ain't running for fucking
Yeah, I'm not running on flat ground.
13 miles. Screw that. So the groups were me, both my sisters, my dad, my wife, and essentially my youngest stepbrother. And then the final group were stepbrother and in-law and fuck, I don't remember who was the third person in that group. Sorry to whoever it was. Very evenly matched. Oh, Gabe. Yeah, my brother-in-law. Anyway, very evenly matched. We get to Continental and I get paired with what looks to be the stiffest, grumpiest, calculated old man I've ever met. And then, but looks can be deceiving, guys, because Jim was an angel.
Really?
I loved Jim. Jim was on a solo vacation. He lives north of Seattle. He wanted to get away from the cold, and he just said, fuck it. I'm going to go to Arizona for a week and just do whatever I want in the warm. He's got a wife and kids. He's retired and old, but he's got a wife and kids and grandkids, and he's just like, screw it. I'm going to go on a solo vacation, and I'm going to get some random solo tea times, and I'm going to play golf with people I've never met. And he was fantastic. He was just the picture of country club snob, like popped collar, like
Popped collar?
Yep.
What?
Well, like regular golf shirt on, popped quarter zip. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
I think my Q zips are usually popped, not on purpose, but just
Yeah. So I just like, I saw him, and the dude at the cart marshal, not the regular course marshal. Apparently Continental is a cart marshal now. He's like, hey,
let's go.
I know you guys book separate tea times, but you'd really be doing me a huge favor if you just hopped in with that guy and saved me a cart. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll do that. None of the other groups did that. They all said no. So there's 3 carts per hole. And I rode with Jim, and Jim was just an absolute delight. Besides that, the front 9 of this scramble, we used every single one of my shots.
Ooh.
For 9 straight holes, we used every single one of my shots.
Felt kind of good, huh?
Felt great because it was only 2 over.
Damn.
Oh, nice.
I was fucking dialed with those rental clubs, baby.
What happened on hole 1?
Hole 1, before everyone fucking spazzes, I did take a breakfast bowl.
Well, I mean that's fine.
And
Yeah.
the first shot wasn't that bad. I was just like, the actual marshal was like, dude, take another one.
Yeah.
I was like,
They're
okay.
Continental.
Yeah.
So I smashed my first drive, went right of the green, maybe 20 yards short, chipped up and on, 2 putted for par. No. We bogeyed the first. I rolled in that fucking drainage ditch.
I've been there twice.
Yep. So we did take a penalty stroke on hole 1 on the great drive.
I just pulled it out.
Yeah, I could
Anyway.
have, but I didn't know Jim's vibe yet.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
he knew we were scrambling in the whole 9. So we bogeyed hole 1, and we parred everything else, and then we bogeyed the 7 or 8 or something. But I missed 1 green the entire front 9 using rental stealths. So they were good clubs.
Damn.
Par 3 course. There's 2 par 4s on each 9. Missed 1 green the whole front 9, and I felt fucking awesome. I'm not saying I was sticking them tight.
You drove a green on par 4?
No, we were on it too. So like,
Green and reg.
yeah, every
Gotcha.
par 3 we were on the green except for 1.
Yep.
Every par 4 we were on the green in 2.
Massive.
Damn.
And I'm not saying like I was throwing darts where I'm 6 feet out. They were long putts, but they were on the green
Doesn't
nonetheless.
matter. Yeah, you got the putter in hand.
And so the front 9, the back 9 starts, we're way ahead. Everybody else sucks. Like we're kicking everyone's ass after the front 9. Like my dad's team is 6 over. The other team is like 5 over. So they're thinking they're going to catch us on the back. First hole on the back nine is a par 4 with a giant ditch. I hit the farthest drive of my entire life the wrong fucking way. I was 2 fairways over to the right.
Jeez.
I'm not kidding you when it probably rolled out to be like 330, 340 because the green itself.
What?
I'm not lying. It was the farthest drive. We didn't use it.
Okay.
No shit, it's all the way over there.
I mean, fairway's a fairway though. It doesn't matter how
2 fairways.
There ain't many trees on Continental. You can maybe.
There's hardly any. My sister hits a disgusting low stinger to the left, hits the fucking car path, just runs down the car path, goes up that ditch on the left side, and rolls back down like 20 yards in front of the green. So the farthest drive of my entire life, I just left it over there.
Were you playing back and they were playing reds?
Everybody played whites because there's only 2 sets of tees at Continental, whites and blues. So that was the first shot, anyone else's. And then my sisters mixed in for a few other shots. I think we ended up winning. We were 5 over. My dad's team finished 6 over and the other team finished like 7 or 8. So
damn.
They jumped in the pool.
You kept it competitive though.
Yeah. Yep. They turned it on in the back nine. We were steady Eddie the whole way. But yeah, finally my sisters did start contributing on the back nine. We used a couple of their putts and we used 2 of Paige's drives.
Well, Paige, she was probably just focused on what club she was going to that night.
Oh,
Who she was going to. I mean, let's be real here.
yeah, she did go out, I think 3 times. I went out one night with her. We went to some dive bar and sang karaoke and it was a fucking blast.
You go back to the hot chick?
They did. I recommended it and they went to the hot chick.
It's a good bar.
But yeah, so golf was fantastic. The rental clubs served me well. One great thing that Continental does, they let you share rentals. They don't make each person rent individually.
And that's why it's one of the best courses in the Arizona.
Absolutely. We saw that fucking coyote still lives out there.
Yep.
But yeah.
Right off the driving range.
So it's safe to say that taking a break from golf pays off because I was the best I've ever been with irons for 9 holes. And then I got used to golf again and I was just back to my normal old self.
God, I wouldn't have wanted to leave. I would have probably tried to book something for the next morning.
No, I tried.
Yeah.
No, not the next morning, but I definitely tried to get people to golf again. And it was just
You should have just went out by yourself.
people wanted to do other shit. No, I'm not gonna. We had 2 cars, and like I'm not gonna take one of the cars to go on a
Uber.
solo adventure or Uber.
Meet up with fucking Jimbo. I'm sure he had a car.
No,
Jim picked you up.
Jim was done golfing. He said pickleball and hikes the rest of his week.
Did you play any pickleball?
I did.
Yeah, it's great, isn't
So Monday, my uncle lives in Arizona with his wife or girlfriend. I don't know. All they do is play pickleball.
it? Yep.
And they're like 65, 70 years old. I don't know, somewhere in there. They're so good.
Yeah.
So the whole week, my grandma came with on the trip, and this is her brother. And the whole week leading
So
up
your
to
great
it.
uncle.
Yeah, either way. I'm talking shit to grandma, but like, I can beat Gene. He's old as shit.
How old?
I don't know. He's 65 to 70. He's
Okay.
somewhere in there.
So yeah, he can't. Yeah, okay.
He's no older than 70. He's no younger than 65.
Okay.
I was like, I can beat Gene. He's old, grandma. I know I'm not in shape like I used to be, but I can beat Gene. So we show up and Gene takes it very seriously and he won't let us play until he teaches us all the rules and the etiquette. So I play like 3 games before.
There's etiquette in pickleball.
Yep. Like
give me an example.
so like if a ball goes over to a different court, like what to yell.
What do you yell?
You have to, you don't yell, you wait until the ball is either going to roll into their game and then you just yell ball, or you wait till after and then you yell like pickle or some shit and then they get the ball for you instead of you hopping the fence to go get the ball.
It's kind of fucking dumb, but
Yeah.
And then at
Well, it's just like the 4 call, I guess. Yeah.
and then at the end of each game, you don't high five, you don't nux the opponents.
It's the paddle,
paddle.
isn't it?
Yeah, you hold the paddle part and you touch handles. Because
What?
those paddles are worth like $200 a piece.
they are spendy.
So they don't want you to be, because the first one, he's like, all right, go touch paddles. And me and Gabe fucking high five with the paddles. And Gene about died right there.
Yep.
He's like, no, that's not what you do. So I play like 4 games and finally it's showtime. Then the bet with grandma is she doesn't drink ever. She's not like, anti-alcohol or anything. She just never drinks. So I get 3 games to try to beat Jean and Edie. And if I beat them, Grandma will have the biggest pina colada I can find in Arizona.
Hell yeah.
If I lose, no stakes. She's terrible at betting. So I had nothing to lose whatsoever. First game, so it's me and my sister Paige, who's the athletic one, against Jean and Edie. We go into extra innings.
Ooh.
It's 11-11. You
Okay.
got to win by 2. We end up losing 15-13. And Jean and Edie are fucking mad. They are competitive as hell. They were not happy with it. I wasn't sure if like I was doing something wrong because they were upset.
Are you playing it like tennis, or were you dinking at the net?
I don't know.
Did they dink at the net? So
don't know
you
what
pretty much go
dinking
up to
means.
you pretty much go up to that line in front.
Yeah, the kitchen.
Yeah, and you pretty much just stand there and you're placing shots that can't be hit out of the air by the other team, but like something like soft enough so it's got like a
No.
Okay.
I didn't hit anything soft.
Is that
Just wail at Adam just
from
every
what
time.
No, so I did go crowd the net in the kitchen, and I would just try to return it every single time before it could touch the ground. And then I had Paige playing backup behind me, which I learned the next 2 games is bad. You're supposed to be at the same level as your partner.
Yep.
But I was just dialed the first game, so they weren't getting anything past me the first game. And they still ended up winning 15-13. The next game, they 11-2 us.
Oh,
Jesus.
And then the game after that, they 11-3 us. Because every
They're pissed
time
off.
I would crowd up there and Paige would be behind me in case I missed it. And Gene was hitting like fucking knuckleballs at me.
Yeah.
Like if he used his forehand, it would spin to his right. If he used his backhand, the ball would spin to his left. And if he could go over the top, it would knuckle. It was insane.
Damn.
And the second Paige and I had any separation, Gene found the middle every single time. There was no chance for either of us to get it. And Edie, also a sniper, her serves would hit the ground and you had no idea which way it was going to go. I don't know how she was putting spin on it like that underhand. It was insane. So it hit the ground and I'd have to fucking stretch an extra 2 feet to try and return the serve. It was embarrassing.
But it's also so much fun.
It was a blast. I'm not taking anything away. I had a great time.
I mean, it's a known fact on this podcast that we love games that old people can be really good at.
Yeah,
Golf,
absolutely.
pickleball,
And pinochle.
and
Ooh, yes.
yeah, and pinochle.
What?
I love pinochle.
And bridge.
You play pinochle?
Yeah, all the Wapton boys taught me. Dan, Jordan, and PJ all taught me.
The classics. Dan,
Yeah.
Jordan. And
I've
PJ.
actually never played
Peach.
pinochle my entire life.
Really?
So I don't know.
I don't know
Of
how
course
to play
not.
either.
Yeah, I play I'm a whist guy.
Oh, I played a fuckload of whist
Yeah,
all
what to
week.
play? We should play me and my wife against you and your wife.
She doesn't know how to play.
Oh, you got to teach her.
I
Come on.
tried, dude. She doesn't like when I teach her things. She gets frustrated at me.
I do think pickleball is going to make it's not going to rise as fast as golf did from 2020 until now. But I do think in the coming years, pickleball it'll definitely make its presence known.
Yeah, I got
And it'll start to work its way north a little bit. It's very, very popular down south in Arizona and, in the warmer states where you can play all year round.
I
But
get my hair cut at Sports Clips, and they had pickleball on every single TV last time I went and got my hair cut.
yeah, probably ESPN The Ocho or something like that.
No, it was like a pickleball channel.
What?
Oh, you were watching TPC as well? That's the pickleball.
The pickleball channel.
Yeah, that was, yes. But yeah, that's all the golf on my trip. I mean, I got a billion more stories for you, but none of them have anything to do with what we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah, no,
so.
it's a great way to scratch the itch short term. And then you leave and you're like, fuck, that was so much fun. And that seems to be how it usually goes, is like when you have that, you have that 1 or 2 rounds in the middle of the winter. I mean, you're only excited because you're pumped up because you're just out there. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go shoot this certain score or whatever. Just the fact that you're out there because when you leave, you're not going to get it for another 3 months.
I know. Yeah. I get back today, and Jared and I always play our league on Friday nights. I asked him if he wanted to do it tonight because I got the itch, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you should have, the course this week, you should have picked Continental.
Is it on there?
No, God, no.
I'll find
We might have to.
I'll find it. I'll create
We
it.
could try and find it.
I know it by memory now.
Yeah.
GCUGC is on there. That's Grand Canyon University Golf Club for.
Mm.
Yeah, I played there.
Yeah.
It's a great course.
That's where you set your personal best, is it not?
78.
Yep.
77. So, no, 78. Yep.
Fucking weird that I know that.
Yep. So, well, glad you had a good trip, Tyler.
you.
I believe in 2 weeks, I'm heading to Florida.
You gonna golf?
Well, I'm not going to bring my clubs, and I always preach you.
Okay. Sorry,
sticks everywhere.
I completely buried that. I think I got to talk about this.
Talk about
Renting
it, my guy.
clubs was not bad at all.
No, it's not
Really?
terrible.
No,
What do you,
especially like now, if I had to rent clubs in the middle of summer when I'm golfing all the time, I think it would have been a big issue. But I'm not hardly golfing right now. So throwing foreign clubs in my hands clearly didn't make that big of a difference. I think it would for sure make a difference if it was like an everyday situation and all of a sudden you throw these weird clubs in, everything would feel off. But when you don't have a rhythm going and it's the middle of winter and you go on a trip, renting clubs wasn't terrible.
Were they expensive?
It's $65, but they gave you a sleeve of balls, and it was
That's nice.
really hard to lose balls out there because it's so open and there's like hardly any water. I still bought an extra box because I know who I am, and I didn't need it. So I ended up leaving the trip with more balls than I came with. I brought the whole box home plus some that I found while I was out there because I am who I am.
Yep.
and what kind of clubs are they?
They were stealths.
$65 seems kind of fucking steep for
Well,
rentals.
$65, and they let me share them.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I technically didn't get to share them, but everyone else did because
Okay, so
I was playing with my sisters.
Yeah.
So they rented a lady set and they shared that.
yeah.
I should have just shared them with Jim because Jim was also renting. So Jim and I
Yep.
rented clubs
Sure.
separately, had the exact same set of clubs.
And it makes sense if you're scrambling too.
Yep.
If you're scrambling, you might as well. And at that point, you split the cost $32.50 a piece.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, if you're in a group like this or like you don't want to check a bag and you haven't swung your clubs in forever, don't bring them.
I honestly think like when you go through it, when people go through a summer lull where it's like you've been playing a lot of golf and you're playing good golf at the beginning, and then you're getting a little too comfortable with what you got going, and maybe you start to, I don't know, you're like, maybe I got to switch this, or you watched 5 TikTok tutorial videos and you're like, now I'm all fucked up. Maybe renting clubs to kind of break the lull is the move.
Yeah.
Because at that point, number one, you have an excuse to blame your score on if you're keeping score. And number two, it's like, well, I have no basis to go off of with these clubs. So I just have to go out and swing them.
You're right. Expectations are nothing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, it did take me a few holes to get the distances down. I mean, but the first hole at Continental doesn't matter because you're just swinging driver.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 holes are all very short. So I just used the smallest club in the bag.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. And I hit the greens on all of them. But after that, it took me a little while to like really figure out what I was going to hit, what distance. The PXGs definitely go further than the stealth irons do.
Yep.
But once you get that dialed out, figured out, maybe I didn't hit the range first, so I could have taken care of all of those issues ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't bad renting clubs. So
Well, I'm thinking that's what I mean, I can't just sit here and listen to you talk about this and not start scheming on my own.
Yeah.
If I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks. So I may just pull a Jimbo when I'm down in Florida. Pick a medium course, not a shitty one, not a really nice one, but pick a medium course, see what I'll call ahead for rentals, whatever. I think I have a bad taste in my mouth too from Nashville because when I went to that one course, like the municipal, I can't remember what it was called, but I mean they were like worse than Top Golf clubs.
Jesus.
So I think that's in my
Well,
mind. It's just
you're
like, well,
going-
every course has shitty Top Golf clubs. So why?
Jake hit the nail on the head when we were talking about me renting clubs before the vacation, about how golf destinations have lots of rentals and good rentals.
Yeah.
Because they had 30 sets of stealths for rentals there.
Jesus.
and they probably get them at a good discounted price too.
Yeah.
Or they're just older models that they didn't sell from the year before in the clubhouse.
So yeah, if you're going to Florida, which is a golf destination, I would assume that they have pretty good rentals there
Yeah,
too.
you're probably.
What about Mexico?
Couldn't tell you, never been. Don't
Going
have a
there in
passport.
March.
I've never golfed there.
I'm gonna
So,
try
yeah,
to in March, so we'll see.
Where at in Mexico?
Cancun.
They'll for sure have clubs, good ones.
Yeah, that might be.
As long as you're not going to bumfuck Mexico, middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
No, we're going to
Never.
like a resort or whatever. So
they'll have clubs for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Do it. Rent the clubs.
I think I'm going to. I mean, if I can sneak away for a few hours, I'm not going to play 18. I got to play 18.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to fucking do it.
Do it.
I'm going to solo dolo,
Mhm.
join a group, whatever.
You're going to be somebody's gym.
I know. I don't think I've ever been the solo joining a group of 3 before.
It's gonna be kind of nice. And then when they get home and they, do their podcast episode, they're
Yeah,
gonna say
that's true.
Ryan was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Because if I'm a solo in a group of 3, I'll bring the vibes. You
Yeah.
know, I hit some good shots. I'll hit some bad shots and I'll bring the vibes.
Just get a little bit squirrely beforehand and just be
Yeah, you don't want to give them the wrong first impression though. If you're a little bit too, a little bit too high energy, on edge, not on edge, but you know what I mean.
maybe putting them on edge.
It could very well, yeah. So okay, well yeah, I'll start game planning then. I actually don't really know what city I'm going to yet. My wife has all that
You should probably
information.
figure that out.
I just know that I'm going to be gone and we're going to the state of Florida.
Nice.
So,
It's a big state. So
Yeah.
it's a large state, panhandle of the United States,
Yeah.
the pistol grip of the United States, as
it
someone call it.
is. Yep.
Yikes.
What do you mean, yikes?
Just your
Trevor's
references.
never shot a gun in his entire life.
Nope.
Wild. All right. First transgender athlete to win a professional golf tournament. Haley, what, Jake?
Davidson.
Haley Davidson. Obviously, hot topic in the world and a very hot topic in the golf world. And Jake is just going to read us some of the comments
Yeah, I am
people
gonna,
have been making. I would like you to, Jake, I've read it. Can you please end this segment with John Daly's quote?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because you can only
like a
imagine
quote.
what he had to say about the issue.
Which, by the way, it's not true. John Daly didn't say.
No!
Yeah. No,
Really?
of course he didn't say that. The
What?
thing-
What do you mean? Of course, I could so
the
see
thing
him saying
circling
that.
around Twitter is that John Daly said, quote, "I would have won 100 tournaments if I threw on a skirt. That dude is as feminine as a Ford F-150.
That sounds
Christ.
something like he would say for sure.
It's just not true at all. Like, yeah.
How
Is
do
that
you know?
is it confirmed?
Guys, it's from PGA at PGATUOR.
No, I
on
get that.
Twitter.
They're verified though, aren't they?
Or-
Well, anyone can
can
be
buy
verified on
that.
Twitter for $8 a month. It's not true. I'll tell you that, period. People have reached out to John Daly. He's never said he hasn't responded to any of it. So I'm assuming he didn't say that.
He had to have said he has an opinion on it, and I would like to hear it just because.
No. It says he has not confirmed if he actually made those comments. That's from the Times.
Pleads the fifth.
So he may have made those comments. He may not have made those comments. However, I could see him. I mean, I absolutely could see that coming out of his mouth. Hear that coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it only comes from one source, and it's from PGA
Tour?
PGA Tour. They literally say they're the golf version of the Onion and the Babylon Bee. # satire, # parody in their bio.
Got to do your research, I guess.
Know your facts.
Any other professional golfers commenting on it?
Not really. I think nothing publicly, which I mean is probably a little bit not surprising considering this is kind of a hot topic period. But the NXXT, which is the tour that Haley plays for,
they wrestle on Wednesday nights.
they
Pay-per-view too.
said
$5.
that they are going to. They said, quote, "In light of recent events, we've initiated a poll among our tour players to gather their opinions on our gender policy. We believe it's vital to consider the perspectives of those directly affected by these policies, because essentially their policy says, hey, you can play in our tour as long as it has been 5 years and 8 months since you started hormone therapy, right?"
I like the polling the athletes though,
Yeah, I think that's kind of the
because that's the
smart
people
move.
it truly affects. Like, it doesn't affect us
Yep.
in any way, shape, or form if Haley plays on any tour,
Yeah, it does not
but
matter.
it affects those players.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, Haley is in first place by a pretty large margin, actually, just on the tour in general. First place by over 100 points, which is like a tournament's worth of winning, I think, or something like that.
Do you have like I would like to see like driving stats. Like who has the longest driving average on that tour?
Yeah.
I would like to see the difference between top and second place or third place.
Yeah, I don't have anything of that like right away.
I don't know how how deep the NXXT tours
They probably have
stat
zero
analytics
stats.
go.
Yeah.
But maybe we could find that somewhere.
So you said 5 years and 8 months.
Yeah, and Haley has abided by all of those rules. Haley waited the 5 years and 8 months to play on the tour after like the therapy started and all that stuff. And so, everything checks out, right? There's no rule breaking going on. However, I think that obviously there's people who are on the tour that have probably voiced their opinion on it. And so
I like the anonymous poll thing because I would actually just be very curious to know what the other athletes think.
It's
super different if a woman transitions to male and wants to play in the NBA. Like,
yeah,
the NBA players aren't going to care if you're good enough. Come on up.
You guys seen Joanna Man?
I don't.
Have you ever seen the movie Joanna Man?
No, I
Where
haven't.
he transitions, or he like pretends to be a woman and plays in WNBA and just dominates.
I've never
You've
seen.
never seen Joanna Man?
I've never even heard of it.
Who was who are the twin brothers in White Chick?
Yeah, the Wayans
Wayans
brothers.
Yeah, okay. I think it's one of them that is the actor in that movie. That movie came out back in like the early 2000s.
So the Wayans brothers just made a career out of being
Is that
in movies
correct,
where they
Jake?
play girls.
Who's the lead actor?
No, it's not one of the Wayans brothers. Yeah, it's not. It's not him. It's Miguel Nunez is the lead.
Okay. Well, I was way off.
Yeah.
So 5 years and 8 months. I'll be 35. Be almost 36.
Jesus.
I'll be
No
at-
shot.
I'll be about 36 years old. And I feel like some people, they hit their prime in their mid 30s.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, Tyler, you said that you were past your prime like 2 episodes ago, and a bunch of people came to your defense saying you're not past your prime, you're just getting into your prime years at age 30. So
Well,
We didn't even
blow
30
me.
yet.
I know my own body.
Yeah, the guy just climbed a fucking free solo
So
mountain.
maybe they're right. I'd never tried that before.
Yeah.
Do you think we could beat her 2v1?
Yeah.
2v1 scramble.
Yeah. On 2v1 best ball, no chance.
Do you think we
2v1's. Well, so here's the thing. She won that last tournament 1 over. Could we beat 1 over as a scramble team?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
through 3 days too.
could we
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about best ball?
That one would be a little more tough, I think.
I think it'd be easier to get beat by a girl in golf than it would in wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I actually wrestled. That's one sport where it was integrated for years. It's not anymore.
No.
Women's and men's wrestling is now completely separate. But when I was going through school, it was integrated. That was
Yep.
one of the very few sports where genders were integrated.
Yeah.
And I've wrestled girls before. They stink.
Ryan, I've actually got a little little note for
Not
you here.
they're not smelly.
Yeah.
We're just better at wrestling than them.
Ryan Davidson claims that she lost 15 miles an hour of club head speed as a result of her transition. And the average PGA Tour club head speed is 114, while the average driver swing speed on the LPGA Tour is approximately 94 miles an hour, which is a difference of about 20 miles an hour. So Davidson losing 15 miles an hour probably falls right in that gap of
Probably knocked her down like 112 swing speed. Forces like 137, 127.
You're so.
I'm kidding. But that also shows you like, okay, so you guys want to talk metrics here. I would say my average swing speed is around like 110 to 112. However, even the LPGA golfers would outdrive me 100 out of 100 times. Maybe 99 out of 100 times. I might get him one time. But even like faster swing speed, it still comes down to how you strike the ball.
Mhm.
And I think that's more important than speed itself.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
to answer the previous question, Ryan, we could totally get better than
Oh, for sure.
1 over scrambling the two of us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we would bogey a couple holes, but we'd birdie quite a few. as
What
well.
about Haley Davidson and Caitlyn Jenner versus you and I? Best ball.
They would win. Caitlin's close to scratch, and clearly,
What?
Yeah.
Actually?
Bruce Jenner was one of the best athletes of all time.
Wait, Tyler, we're not talking about Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, but Caitlin's still good.
I didn't know she really golfed.
I also didn't know she
Yeah.
was scratch either.
She's good.
What?
What?
I thought I was an okay athlete, like growing up.
Yeah,
Why
but-
hasn't that translated for me?
You were an Olympic decathlon gold medal winner.
But decathlon doesn't like I
Yes,
can understand if
that's
you're.
athleticism. That's the whole point of the decathlon is to do every
You're right.
every aspect of
Yeah.
athleticism.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
I would think-
6 handicap. Caitlyn Jenner has a 6
Jesus.
handicap.
Yeah.
You guys are getting smoked.
Pretty much scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are
We
gonna
get bumps.
smoked.
We obviously it's handicapped
If it's
Guys are going net.
handicap, we might win.
for sure. Okay. Anyway, we haven't had. I mean, there really hasn't been headlines like this in the golf. It's been PGA Live. It's been the defects. It's been money here, money there. It's been the amateur golfer winning $1 million+ not being able to claim it this last weekend. This is all new.
Oh yeah, whoa,
It's
whoa,
a
whoa.
brand new.
What was the last thing you talked about? You had mentioned that in the break, and I hadn't heard of this.
Yeah, so I'll pull up an article real quick. So essentially, there was an amateur golfer who got an invite to a pro event, and he ended up winning. I'll get you his name right now, but I think he's like a PGA Tour amateur golf tournament
He
winner.
plays for Alabama right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
he plays for
oh,
Alabama.
okay, I
Nick
did-
Dunlap.
I was
one
a little bit on social media on vacation. I did see something about an Alabama player doing well. I didn't know he won it.
Yeah, so he won the Amex PGA Tour event, I guess, and he's 20 years old. He's the youngest amateur to win on the PGA Tour, period. And the purse, not the purse, but the first place prize was $1.5 million. And because of his amateur status, he can't claim that money. And it's not like,
Go fucking pro.
well,
He can go pro now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the decision that he's making now. Is does he drop out of college, leave the Alabama golf team, and go pro, or does he stay in college, play it through, and then see what
For
happens?
$1.5 million, unless he's.
But I don't think
He can't get that money.
yeah, it's out. It's already gone. Period. Poof. They gave it to the second place winner.
So even
That's fucked.
that's crazy.
That is
tough.
fucked.
yeah.
So even with like all the NIL dollars being thrown around, he can't claim any of that.
period. No,
It was
can't.
the
That's so
Amex
dumb.
tour.
Yeah, the Amex. No, it was the Amex Open or something like that.
Is
what
it
was called.
Amex or Amex?
Is it American
AMEX?
Express?
Yeah, American Express.
Okay.
It's
Amex.
Amex.
Okay, well, American AIM. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, if those guys are fucking crooks, give him his money.
That's a credit card company too. They
Figure
got
out-
so much money.
Figure out a way to donate to the college so homeboy can get it for his NIL deal.
Well, it's same with Sam Bennett in the Masters. He couldn't claim any of that money either because he was an amateur, and then he went pro, and now he can start making money.
That is, I hate that.
It's
So
to me,
much.
it's crazy because okay, so you invite these amateurs to tournaments, which to them it's not about the money to them. It's more so about like the exposure and being able to play against the best competition in the world on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And who knows, it may never happen again. So I feel like the money is the last thing on their minds. However, when you get to the point where you're like, I could have a huge check coming my way. He's the first amateur to win a PGA Tour event since Phil Mickelson did it in like what, 91?
91, exactly.
So what this
So
is what
there's not many people that make checks like this
Right.
as amateurs.
So you know what Amex needs to do tomorrow? NIL is open for business. They need to sign him to $1.5 million contract
Credit
as an
card deal, yeah.
ambassador for Amex.
It's not a bad idea.
Because
Not
they
bad.
need to like, this is a bad look for them. I know it's not their fault technically.
It's not. No, it's PGA.
Yeah.
But there's an opportunity here for them to look really good by getting this kid the money he deserves.
Yeah.
The weird sticking part about it is that it's like he won the tournament. And so because winning that tournament means, hey, man, you can join the PGA Tour. Like this is essentially him getting his tour card.
Yeah,
right?
he has. So he has. I believe he has a 2-year exemption. He gets into the PGA Championship, the Masters, and then a boatload of other
He said
tournaments.
he's
Yeah.
20 years old.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the win
Good for
qualifies
him, dude.
Dunlap to turn professional at any point and join the 2024 PGA Tour with automatic membership through the 2026 season. So that's that exemption
Yeah,
you're talking
retirement.
about right there.
Yeah, and 2020, like it may be different if this was like the end of. Well, I guess it's 2 years regardless, whether it happens at the end of the year or the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and so he also has 2 years to accept the offer from the PGA Tour. So he could with this win, say, I'm still going to go back to college. I'm going to play all that stuff. And then once college is done, he can immediately join the PGA Tour in 2025 and or 2026.
Does he get 2-year exemption to those tournaments if he joins in 2025?
So you're saying if he joins in 25, will he have 2 years up until
Will you get to go to
2027?
Yeah.
That's not, I don't know. It's not stated in this article. I would assume yes. I don't know. That's complete guess though.
Because then if that's the case, I'm going to play in college until the very last day I can make my decision and then cash in my 2 years.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say, well, I guess now that you say that, Tyler, I would assume then maybe no, because that would be a bad look for the PGA. It probably wouldn't make sense monetarily for them to let guys stay in college for as long as possible, you know, and then get the most amount of years of exemption out of it. So
I mean, if he's
He
not
won the
using-
juniors too, didn't he? I believe he won the juniors, so he got exempted to this tournament, and he can also play in the Masters before he even won this tournament.
Oh, so this guy's fucking
So,
good, huh?
Can we confirm that, Jake?
yeah, I can.
The
I can
junior,
look up.
what is the juniors?
I'm not sure, but he won something that got him into this tournament. It's like a juniors tournament or whatever, and it gets you exempted into this one and the Masters, I believe. I'm 89% sure.
I'm looking right now. I'm not finding anything to say that you're wrong, and I'm also not finding anything to say that you're right either. I'm just not finding anything, period.
Either way, Amex, you have an incredible chance right here to get yourself some great publicity.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sign up for an Amex card right now.
Give the man his money.
I mean, $1.5 million, it's a lot of money, especially for a 20-year-old.
Not for Amex, it isn't.
Now,
That's true. Yeah.
no, not for Amex. They probably make that like per hour.
Yep.
That is a tough decision because you can think about it. At 20 years old, he could play so many tournaments. It's like you have these older guys who are they're obviously seasoned veterans, and they have the resume and the history to be like, I'm just gonna, play in the majors, major tournaments, or I'll just pick and choose which ones I'm playing.
Cool.
He, as a 20-year-old and having his body being in the youth that it is, he could play. This is me as a casual. I bet he could play in every tournament that he wanted to.
Yeah. Well, didn't Tiger go pro around 2021?
Something like that. I think he went pro in 96. And he's 47 now. So if you do the math, 27 years. So yeah, he might have been 20.
He was 20.
Look at that math.
Yeah, they say he's the just barely younger than Tiger.
He's a lot younger than me.
Yeah. So really interesting. This guy's he's got a lot of hype around it. A lot of the players who are talking about him are saying that he's pretty crazy. And actually, you're right, Trevor. Dunlap and Tiger Woods are the only players to win both the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Junior Amateur. I don't know what the difference is. But yeah.
Tiger's first PGA event, he was 16.
Jesus.
But he officially turned pro at 20. And the day he turned pro, he announced his deal with Nike.
10-year, $100 million.
So
Something like that.
So Mr. Dunlap, go pro and announce your deal with Amex immediately.
Well, there's also, if you look at it in a sense of publicity, I mean, if he waits to go pro, people will forget who Nick Dunlap is.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now, if he right now is the most that anybody is, let's just say it's the most anybody has and might ever talk about him.
Yep. It's like Michael Block last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Well, and
Michael Block has done a good job of, he's getting into the YouTube golf space, and he's done a good job of like carrying that
Leveraging
publicity.
it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he just signed an apparel deal with Good. So like he is now he's appealing to the guys like us, the high teenagers, the low 20, whatever. So from a PR standpoint, now would be a great time to go pro because
All cameras are on him, first event.
correct.
Yeah.
I also think
Correct.
so, Ryan. I think if you
fucking-
win a PGA Tour event, you just no matter what, you get 2 years of exemption on the tour because you won an event, right? From that date of winning, you have 2 years. Like
Gotcha.
I don't know. So everybody who won a tournament this last year is just no matter what guaranteed to be on the tour until 2027
Sure.
or whatever.
2025.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
I'm telling you, go pro, whatever the next tournament is that Tigers, you pair them together. Every camera in the world is on them. All the eyes in sports are on them.
Did you guys see
You
that?
got a nice Amex logo on the fucking lapel of his polo.
Yeah. A lot of branding on that
Yeah.
polo.
Speaking of polos, speaking of Tigers, Did you guys see that Tiger's new apparel company got leaked this week?
Yeah,
Is it
with
real?
TaylorMade?
Or is it John
It's-
Daly quote?
Is it by PGA Tour?
No, it's not by PGA Tour. It's
They're
pretty legit.
though.
It's pretty legit. That he's, I don't know now.
Greg
all
Norman?
all the rumors underneath him going to TaylorMade or wherever are all, I don't know. They're kind of wishy-washy. All we know is that he's getting his own thing, similar to how Jordan has something under Nike, and it's called Sunday Red.
Yep.
Who owns it?
We don't know yet. It's not been confirmed. A lot of people are speculating it's TaylorMade, but I've not seen anything that's like a legitimate, like a for sure leak
Yep.
about it. That's what people are saying is that it's TaylorMade.
Why wouldn't he just call them Tigers?
Well, it's called Sunday Red because I think their
The
goal
iconic
is
Sunday Red for him. So
Also, here's the thing. I think that never mind. TaylorMade did file the trademark for it,
Yeah.
so that just came out yesterday. But the new logo got leaked and all that stuff. It's a tiger and it says Sunday Red on it. But I think the reason why they're keeping his name off of it is because they want to sign other golfers under it in a similar way to how Good is signing people like Michael Block, and doesn't have a direct somebody's last name or first name or whatever attached to it. You know?
I disagree with that logic entirely.
Really? Go on.
How many people are signed under Jordans? Like you have entire football teams that are they're a Jordan football team. Michigan, national champions, wear Jordan jerseys. They're a
North
Jordan.
Carolina.
They're a Jordan football
Of
team.
course, but
yeah.
And that takes nothing away from it for me. I think it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree. I think the Jordan name, as we've argued before on this podcast, actually has transcended everything,
I
you know?
agree. And I
so
think-
maybe it's a bit of an exemption, but like they don't have teams wearing the Adidas, you know, they don't have full basketball teams wearing Adidas Anthony Edwards 1 sneakers yet.
Right.
You know what
but,
I mean?
But that argument we made about Tiger and Jordan, they're the two most iconic athletes of all time.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to, I still stand by Jordan is more iconic. But if you want to elevate Tiger to that status, name the brand fucking Tiger.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it, of not wanting to attach a name to it and having like Tiger's legacy.
Like,
Because I also understand that the name Tiger, when people talk about Tiger Woods, some people still have a sour taste in their mouth over like his personal life, right? Whereas the legacy of just saying Tiger and his Sunday Reds and him being a winner and all that stuff is still like a little bit less. Some people might view that differently than they would just read his name, Tiger Woods. You know what
it's
I mean?
just like the golf aspect and not the whole outside golf.
And not his,
His personal life.
yeah.
I mean, I think though, it just for personal.
Just call it Tigers.
Yeah. I got
I don't really know how I feel about it because there's really only one other golfer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's one other golfer that has his own clothing line that's named after him. That's Greg Norman.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Most of the other people who have their names attached to things are just in the realm of golf and not necessarily pro golfers.
Travis Matthew,
Vokey is just a guy who was good at milling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that type of thing.
Scotty
Yeah.
Cameron.
And whoever this Taylor guy is, TaylorMade.
Yeah.
Interesting. I do like. I kind of like the name. I mean, it's
I don't dislike the name either. I just think it was a miss.
Yep.
Not calling it Tiger.
Yeah. I think
I
they
got a
also,
pair of Tiger ones.
yeah, I think they were also like, cause remember Tiger's old logo with Nike with the TW
Yep.
on the hat and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think that they wanted something that's a little bit more ambiguous for people to wear.
There could
That's
be-
like just
there-
a little, and the logo is a tiger, but the brand name is Sunday Red.
so is everything red?
Well, I'm not sure yet because we haven't seen any products or anything like
I
that.
don't want a pair of green Tiger Reds or Sunday Reds.
Some green reds.
But you can't have just red clothes because it's like,
I could see where there might be some legal issues with Nike owning that TW logo.
My logo.
And the line of Tiger Woods stuff.
Which I think is why they probably steered clear a little bit because Nike, I think, probably still owns the TW. You know?
I guess the more I talk about it too, you do want to separate yourself from Jordan if they are in that same realm of icons. You don't want to just copy Michael Jordan.
well, Jordan's started as shoes too, mostly, where Tiger's not really going to be doing shoes.
How do you know?
You can only make so many golf shoes, I think.
I would wear some Tiger.
Plus, they're named
shoes.
after a polo, Tyler. The whole brand is named after a red polo. I don't know. I mean, You know,
You think they're not going to make anything other than polos?
No,
they're gonna make
that's not what I
more,
said.
But they're going to start with polos.
Yeah, I think that's going to be what everyone's going to be trying to buy is a Sunday red.
I don't think I would ever wear a red polo on the golf.
Doesn't it feel a little sacrilegious?
I
do you
just
think?
got one.
I got a
Did
couple.
you?
I got one from the PGA Canada gift bag or whatever. I got a red Travis Matthews one.
Like, but it's got like some other like accent colors on it too.
It's got like some very faint white lines on it, but you can't. They're like, it's red, and then it has some like very faint, lighter red lines.
Sure. I don't.
It's the same. It's the same red polo that John Rahm wears.
Okay.
That's the dude.
Okay.
The
Okay,
dude
yep.
is like.
Oh, I know what you're talking
It
about.
almost. He almost.
It's like a dull red.
Yeah, he almost made me put it back by telling me that. To be honest, and I nothing against John Rahm. I just don't want to be the guy that's out there wearing fucking John Rahm's shirt on the course.
In the exact same way, you don't want to be the guy wearing the red Nike swoosh polo and the black slacks and the black hat,
and then ripping one OB off.
Yeah. And I was like, I kind of like this red color. And he's like, oh, great choice. That's the one John Rahm wears all the time. And I was like,
Yeah,
fuck
okay.
that
Give me another one.
I'll just take another gray one, I guess.
Like, okay, so opening up the doors for obviously a lot of people can buy a red polo, but
Yes.
opening up the doors of just letting whoever wear a red polo on the court, I feel like it does it like water down how iconic it is or not.
I don't know. Because here's the thing is
Okay,
like Tyler's argument is that everybody's wearing Jordans. Does it water down what Jordan did on the basketball
No,
court?
it
I don't
doesn't.
think so. But also, if I see a dude wearing everything that Tiger wore while golfing, I'm gonna be like, all right, let's maybe
What's worse?
let's maybe think the outfit again.
What makes you think less of a golfer? Seeing him wearing a black hat, bright red polo, and black pants, or seeing he has the Tiger head cover?
Probably the outfit.
Yeah,
You
I think
think?
the outfit.
Yeah, because the outfit just speaks volumes.
You know what it's a little bit like? It's like you see those guys at NFL games who wear like full pads and shit as if they're like about to get called on and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the coach is going to call them in for a couple snaps. That's how it feels a little bit. Whereas I think having a Tiger head cover is a little bit closer to wearing Jordan sneakers.
Well, I also think
Dude,
if
I think I'm gonna go head cover mostly. And Ryan, don't get offended. I think the animal head covers are stupid to begin with, and then to have the Tiger one is just, what are you doing, my guy?
my mom got me that head cover.
You can
Actually,
This was a jab.
I
right
know. I didn't say anything when you told me you got
she
it.
listened.
there.
to
Would you have
everything.
bought it by yourself?
If
Don't
I was
put him
in
on the spot, his mom listens.
like if I was in the market for like if I'm like, hey, I want to go get a new head cover, I would absolutely considered it.
Yeah.
That's such a good non-answer.
Okay, let's
No,
say-
because I also
Good PR answer.
Yeah.
like
Also, you ready for this too, Ryan? Sometimes the best gifts are the ones that you didn't know you needed.
exactly.
So there you go.
And that's a great way to put it. I'm also like the stock head covers to me are just kind of lame. It's like your golf bag is personalized to you.
I agree with the stock head cover thing. I just don't like the animal ones at all. Like,
Fair.
When people have the Caddyshack gopher, I think that's so stupid.
Mine's not even an animal. It's not even a real animal.
I don't. Yours is like a lion with rainbow hair.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But it's
Daphne.
Daphne. Yeah, it's John Daly's head cover.
Yeah. Still, not for me.
So you think that getting a head cover from Waste Management is a better move?
I do. I think it's cooler because it's a
Why?
normal
Yeah.
head cover, and it was an event that I remember. Every time I take that head cover off, I think about our time at the Waste Management together, Ryan.
But I also think of one of my favorite golfers of all time.
Yeah,
and
I'm
a
just
birthday
telling you. I
gift that my
think
mom
the
gave me.
animal ones look stupid.
Well, I'm trying to tell you why they're not stupid.
I'm telling you what I think. I'm not saying they are stupid. I just think they look stupid.
All I'm saying is that I'm buying the full Tiger outfit and I'm having a Tiger head cover. So fuck both of you guys.
See, okay, now if I see a guy playing noon ball at like
And I'm getting a
the rec
DUI.
center,
He's
if
got
I
it.
see a guy playing b-ball at the rec center wearing a pair of Jordans, and he sucks, I don't really look at him any different. I'm just like, well, that's just the shoes he's wearing. But if you're a golfer wearing Tiger's outfit, his Sunday outfit, Sunday red, and you suck.
Stick one two
Like-
fairways over.
And you put one, if you put
Gotta
one
take that off,
a
buddy.
mile to the right, then I'm like, quit watering that name down. Quit watering how iconic that is.
Do you think though that that's because the Jordan brand has been around for so long and morphed into so many different things?
Or maybe the Jordan brand has already been watered down. Whereas when they first came out and you saw some dude at the gym,
Right.
you would have
Yeah.
been like, fucking take those
shit.
off.
Yeah.
Well, they also made it to start, like, people weren't wearing it just for basketball. They were wearing it in the streets and like,
Yeah. See, I would like that for them to do like an exclusive red polo, something that like you can't really get your hands on somewhere else, and only sell like 1,000 of them.
That would be pretty cool.
that was
Yeah.
What's the term? Resale?
Yeah, sure.
Like
Okay.
what the deal? We were just talking about it when Trevor tries to buy shit online.
It'd get scalped.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like someone buys it before you, then jacks the price way
Yeah.
up.
Resale.
What do you think those would go? If like they sold for astronomical price for a polo, they sell for $200 a pop. What is the resale?
oh, dude.
500?
Yeah.
At least 500.
400 to
yeah.
500.
Fucking hey, dude.
And then as time goes on, probably 600-700.
God damn.
But I think that's what makes the brand even cooler, is that not everybody can get their hands on it. So I don't know.
I don't know. I hope they bring back the Tiger Woods, like the Stanford look in the khaki pants, the tucked in red polo and the red Stanford hat.
It's a great look.
Yeah.
the real loose business pants.
Yep.
Yeah, the first piece of Sunday red apparel that I see on the course, I don't know. I'm instantly just gonna think like, that guy's a hardo.
Yeah.
Why is
But if somebody sent us some Sunday red stuff to wear, it'd be the first fucking thing I'd wear the next time I golf.
Oh, of course.
I wouldn't touch it.
You just
I'm
go
kidding.
like,
You'd probably sell it knowing you
No,
Yeah.
straight to
No.
eBay.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, I only sell basketball cards and old video games.
Actually, Ryan, let's get you like a jersey frame for your red
Yeah.
polo in your man cave.
It's not signed.
It's not signed or
Doesn't
anything.
say a
like that.
name on it.
Yeah, unbranded red polo into the jersey frame.
I'm gonna buy a red polo from Walmart tonight.
Yeah.
God, see, we're just watering down how iconic that red polo is.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see some more details coming out. I'm interested to see the price points, who is making it. I know I just saw something and again, it could have been from PGA Tour, but TaylorMade, like they had a job listing on their website that was for like a merchandiser essentially. So if they're beefing up for that, then could be true.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. Like the stealth, it's all black and red.
Yep.
I still think he's gonna buy a brand.
Here's the logo, boys. I'll put this on the podcast too, but this is the Sunday Red logo right here.
No,
That's
it's
the new one.
not.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
That's the
Yeah.
one that they just filed the trademark for.
Yep.
What I think about it.
What?
Tiger could be better, but
I mean, the font is like
It's Times New Roman or Helvetica. It is
Helvetica.
Helvetica.
No, it is Helvetica.
how do you just know that?
We're font
complete
guys.
guess.
Jesus.
We're fucking
We deal with fonts.
The
all
tiger
time.
illustration
that's
is really, really neat. Also, come on, Trevor. That's the Helvetica R. That's the most recognizable font of all time.
What the? I don't know if I like it.
I'm not damn it, Jake. Why did you have to do that, dude?
Look, the SD and the R that are on it probably won't be used with everything. I bet you the tiger logo is the thing that they'll put on everything.
So here's
in
the
the same
thing
way
with
that
the-
like the
The SD and the R, the English Nazi in me, Sunday is a compound word.
it's not
So there's-
Sunday red, you know.
So it should just be SR.
Yeah, I like the tiger logo. I think people have put way dumber things on polos, like
I
the
would-
fucking Lacoste crocodile or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, that was fucking sick when I was a freshman in college. Shut up. I
Yeah.
traded. You guys want to hear how much of a fucking douchebag I was?
Oh
I
god.
think it was sophomore year of college. I traded my dorm neighbor a pair of Sperry's for a Lacoste shirt.
Holy shit.
Why?
wow, Tyler.
I was gonna.
Wow.
Sperry's are like the perfect combination with Lacoste shirt.
Yeah, but I didn't want my Sperry's because I realized how much I hated them the second I bought them, and so I
They're
traded.
not
them for-
comfortable, really.
No, he's right. That's
Yeah,
the fucking.
they
logo.
also filed a trademark for just the line itself, and then they also filed a trademark for the words "Sun Day Red Tyler.
They broke it up?
Yeah, they broke up Sunday.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Now I hate the name even more.
I'd like to say I don't know what I think about it, but I do know what I think about it. And the SDR with it's just it's not for me. The tiger logo by itself is sweet.
Yeah.
But and again, they're the professionals.
Yep.
They run a $100-some million company, like hundreds of $1 million company. And you're working with a guy worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. My initial reaction is that the Sunday red thing, like the words being split up and everything being in Helvetica and them trying to make it like feel like a high-end brand, feels like they're just ripping off Off-White and like some of those clothing companies where like Helvetica is their main font and Supreme, like they use a non-sans serif, like the fonts are very similar to Supreme and all that shit. It's like it feels like they're kind of copying somebody else rather than trying to do their own thing a little bit.
Could be a red herring too.
I hope so.
Could be a Sunday red herring.
okay, well,
Yikes.
if it's $100 polo, I'm out.
Really quick, last bit of vacation stuff since we're on the topic of merch. On Friday afternoon, last day in Arizona, I wanted to do something just me, the wife, and the boys. And when we were at the aquarium earlier that week, we looked across this little boardwalk area they had, and there was a dinosaur exhibit.
Okay.
So I take my kids to this dinosaur exhibit, and it is the shittiest animatronic rubber dinosaurs. You walk around in a room the size of our old content office. So not big. You see like 30 dinosaurs that are just moving their fucking heads back and forth. My kids are terrified the entire time. But as we're leaving, I walk past a shirt in the gift shop that I absolutely had to grab. And I am actively wearing it. It is.
Stand up and show the folks at home.
It's got a bunch of dinosaurs in a boxing ring. And it says, Pangea presents Jurassic Fight Night. And on the back, it shows the fighters that are in the fight night. And by itself, the shirt's just goofy and silly, right? It's a real fucking thing.
They fight the dinosaurs?
People get dressed up in dinosaur costumes. They fill stadiums in Arizona. People get in dinosaur costumes and they fight each other.
Actually,
That's fucking
I kind of
stupid.
like that. What?
Well, no, that's kind of dumb.
If you are bored today after this podcast, please Google Jurassic Fight Night, go to their Facebook page and watch these videos.
Why don't you just watch the like UFC and just watch like people not in
I know, but it's like what's the fucking place in Chicago? Medieval Nights or whatever, where it's like a dinner theater and they joust in front of you.
That's
It's kind
different.
of the same
That's
thing.
different though.
Jake, stadiums. These people, I watch the videos, are going fucking nuts over these dinosaurs. These dudes in dinosaur costumes fighting in a ring. They are filling like full ass college stadiums. And the people in the stands are going nuts like it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, they got the 3,000 followers on Instagram. Let's go. It's kind of sick. Also, their first post
They're
they were
not
doing.
filling stadiums.
Okay, no, now they are, because there's literally stadiums on here. I will say that they did start out by doing one in a Napa Auto Parts parking lot is their first
my
post on
God.
Instagram.
Oh my god.
And not only
Gotta start somewhere.
this shirt I copped is from the 2019 card.
How much was it?
$15.
Yeah, it's
Okay, that's
pretty
fair.
easy buy.
It was I was looking through the ones. I'm like, what's Jurassic Fight Night? This is silly. And then I kept scrolling to find my size. And then I found shirts from 2019 that had the logo on them and everything. I just couldn't. I thought it was a funny little joke until I Googled it. And it is real. And I had to get it. So
That is insane, actually.
Sunday Red, reach out to
Jurassic Fight.
Pangea Presents and get the rights to their designs, because it's way better than the Tiger one right now. Bella Canvas shirt, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good shirt.
Yep.
60-40. It's a good shirt. One last thing too. We already connected the dots here, but I'm a newest owner of a Nintendo 64.
You about to fucking sell this?
No, I'm not going to sell it. This is staying with me. You guys think I'm fucking sell it. I don't
You
even-
just
shut
said the only
up.
thing
No,
you sell is
every
basketball
day.
cards and old video games. Then you bring up an old
Game
video
Boy
game.
games. Game Boy
You
video
didn't
games.
say that.
Newest owner, N64. Never had one in my entire life. Have always wanted one. Love playing Mario Kart. I bought an N64 last week for $50.
Mhm.
That originally was the man sitting to my left.
That would be me.
Is Tyler's childhood
When
N64?
did you get that?
I got it when I was probably 11 or 12 years old from a rummage sale.
Really?
Oh, so it was already pretty old by the time you got it.
And then
yeah.
I sold it to a roommate for $60. So you got a steal.
Well, yeah, and depreciation. Well,
Did he
no,
sit- did he-
appreciation over time with N64s. I
Did he
feel
give you the
but
games?
Just one game,
What games? I sold him like 4.
Mario Kart.
Wow.
It's finicky though. He said it only works every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yep.
You got a trick for me on how it
Blowing the cartridge.
kept?
Well, if you guys,
I just think it was wild because it also came in the same shoebox that Tyler sold it to his roommate in.
was it a Sperry's shoebox by
New
chance?
Balance.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I now have, that's what he said. I'm just going off his word. So I now have Tyler's,
You know what that asshole paid me into? He went to the fucking bank and got $60 worth of $2 bills and paid me in $2 bills.
I should have paid him in $2 bills.
Yeah.
Had I known, I would have done the same.
Yeah.
Small world though.
Yep.
Tyler, my kids they'll be raised on N64.
Good. I hope you enjoy it. That's a
So-
lot of fun hours on that thing.
And no, I'm not going to sell it because this is something I've always wanted.
Okay. Enjoy it, man.
So we got, guys. Yeah, I had a comment at the end. I'll save that for another day. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
Love you.
Love you.
They piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book in another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.